WWE Fastlane. Yep, happened tonight. I watched it on Peacock while I was also trying to go watch FAU against Tulsa, which they won, but also having to go and watch the game, partly the second half, underneath the stands because it was pouring in a rainy monsoon all night long. But nevertheless, FAU got away with the win. Taking away what they did on the show tonight, I actually didn't think that they were going to go do anything with Cody and Jay and how they were going to set things up to take the titles off of Finn Balor and Damian Priest. But they put that out there. You know, Rhea Ripley was out there to go ahead and help assist. Not enough plunder to go ahead and stop Cody and Jay. They made it where they gave, the card a good amount of time, 20 minutes for the match. And listen, it was fine. I'm just wondering where Cody and Jay now work together and what it makes now. I mean, the title change doesn't matter to me so much about what Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso are now as tag team champions. Just like the same thing would be the significance of after Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens won the belts off the Bloodline. Okay, what else is next? So one of the Usos now is a tag team champion again with Cody. I wonder what that's going to be able to make, what we do with that afterwards. I mean, does the Bloodline still have a thing here? No, I guess not. Now that the Undisputed Tag Team Champions are Cody and Jay, doesn't that mean they'll be on SmackDown? And couldn't they set up a thing where the Bloodline could then try to go ahead and take the belts off of Cody, Rhodes, and Jey Uso? Could they do that? Because that's the only reason I can see this happening. And as for Finn Balor and Damian Priest, yeah, they just lost a good chunk of their titles. They held up to so much. Dominic almost lost the North American title, got it back. He did lose it, but he got it back. And then we're now back to where we were, where everything was okay as long as the tag team titles were on the Judgment Day's waists. But now that it's not there anymore, Finn Balor's without a title, and Damian Priest is still holding on to the Money in the Bank briefcase. I don't see much more you do with that right now. As for the 6-man tag with Carlito coming out to join the Latino World Order because Joaquin Wilde was neutralized previously. Carlito coming back, listen, it was a cool moment when he came back for Royal Rumble. But I know that the faithful, the WWE fans out there were probably just enjoying it over the moon to see Carlito coming back, go get his apple, let's do the whole thing again. Listen, he's still in good shape. He's still in great shape, actually. He can still go out there and work. So, pretty much surprised that we have not seen him for so long, not even be part of all this here, but because he could have been working this whole time here. And he hasn't. But all of a sudden, he's been under contract. They bring him back. And now he's here. And I guess he's apparently part of the LWO. Okay. A faction that until I see Santos Escobar turn on Rey Mysterio, I just don't really care about. I just don't. LWO. Okay. And then looking at Bobby Lashley and Street Profits. Well, so Bobby Lashley, and Bobby Lashley now looks like he has Hurt Business without a mouthpiece. And Street Profits, I don't like them necessarily the way they've been used as heels. Yeah, the association with Bobby Lashley, yeah, makes sense. But no. You have to really change up the Street Profits and the goofiness of the characters to make them more straight lace and, in suits. Got it. But to have them not as heels on their own, but then have them here as heels with Bobby Lashley. Okay. And all I really paid attention to in that match was the fact that Angelo and Montez had to go and sell pretty hard for the LWO throughout the night. That's it. Didn't make much of a difference to me. But Carlito and LWO win. Okay. And then Iyo Sky over Asuka and Charlotte Flair because Asuka and Charlotte Flair cancel each other out. I'm actually surprised that Charlotte Flair did not win the title. I figured they would have done something with her anyway if they were going to go that route, but they decided not to. Okay. I'm just kind of a little bit bored. Yeah, Bailey got in there, got involved to make sure Iyo Sky got the belt, and she held on to it. But really, nothing especially special about that match to me. John Cena, LA Knight, and the Bloodline, and the main story of that was John Cena was working out there like a fool, and we were waiting and waiting and waiting until LA Knight got that hot tag, which is all he was really there for. And he got the pin. So is this enough to get LA Knight over? Big main event thing, you put him in there with John Cena and then let's get that? Or do we get John Cena and LA Knight at some point at odds with each other? Without that, I don't really know what more I really could care about with this. And so, analyzing what the Bloodline has become. So, Jey Uso now has moved along. Him and Cody are tag team champions. And Jimmy is a sore thumb in the Bloodline with Paul Heyman now, not dyeing his hair, the sides of his hair. And Solo Sikoa being put into this. I would have preferred if Jimmy were not part of the Bloodline and Solo would just go out with Paul Heyman and just treat him like a Brock Lesnar type. Like, that's what I would have preferred. I don't think I really could care about Jimmy Uso in this role, but I don't. We could have just put him anywhere else. I know they wanted to attach him to the Bloodline because they have to. But I feel like he's just a sore thumb in there. And sure, Roman Reigns always on phone with Paul Heyman. And Paul has to go and call Roman. Meanwhile, on SmackDown, Rhea Ripley saying, acknowledge me. Like, it's all this stuff they're doing while Roman's gone. And it doesn't work for me at all. I just kind of hate it. And I will say that I've been a bit tuned out to what they've been doing in the programming because it's all these storylines they're doing right here that are autopilot. That's like, well, let's just kind of do a little makeshift something here off of something that was doing really good for us and just work off of that. So creating this makeshift storyline with Jey Uso, abandoned, goes over to Raw, and now he joins up with Cody, and then there's like the whole skepticism, but now we have these two guys as tag team champions. With Jimmy, he comes back, and I don't even remember if Jimmy came back with Roman's blessing. I don't even know if we have that or not. But Jimmy looks like he just came in and just pushed and bullied his way in, and they're just accepting it as such. But the mission to stop John Cena from going after the Bloodline, well, that failed. And LA Knight's involved here, and LA Knight being involved here doesn't matter to me at all. Just doesn't. And then I look at Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura. Yeah, they had a very long last man standing match. Shinsuke goes Great Muta with the Red Mist, and they did beat the shit out of each other. They went 30 minutes. The match was quite compelling and brutal. And Seth Rollins, I feel like if, and you know what, WWE can go ahead and the fans can also give me shit if I say this, but the back injury and how much they put it on here and the way they position it. And I think of Orange Cassidy as an international title run in the same vein. And how can you not expect me to feel like that? I don't know. I just feel like that. It doesn't feel much for me after all. And maybe I'm wrong about all this, but like I said, there's nothing necessarily fresh. Like, there's a couple of matches he had in here just to get things done. Okay. Carlito's return, that's supposed to go ahead and get people's up and at it. Iyo retaining again, and LA Knight getting the rub from John Cena. Does that really matter at all? I don't know. If it makes much of a difference to me at all, so. Then I got a chance to go ahead and watch Collision because there was just too much else going on. I'll have to go ahead and catch that soon enough anyway and see what happens. So I'll take a look at that and see where it came from. But like, I just did not get a chance to catch too much other stuff going on for me to go ahead and follow along with Collision and whatever else is going on. We're going to keep the show short tonight. Like I said, I didn't have much to say about it. And I'm not here to go and stretch out the story and just say, okay, well, here we go. Makeshift storylines. Let's get me excited about what they're doing here with Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. I mean, even the promos back and forth have been like, You could just tell that the effort and the extra writing and depth that we're putting to these storylines are so shallow now and so simple. And it doesn't fit the narrative of what the company does. It's just not. And partly some of these matches were just kind of put together. Even though there is some build up to them, it's just not anything special. And I think everybody's going to just stay into like this status of autopilot until the rumors that are now being put about, even Dave Meltzer's now trying to confirm something where CM Punk is now in talks to rejoin WWE, and we could see him as early as Survivor Series to build that show up. The real story is, like I said on Wednesday, it's what's going to happen Tuesday night. And as we already see, both cards are stacked. Tony Khan is basically giving us what would be a show that he would do as a Grand Slam in New York. Or, I don't know, maybe Battle of the Belts. I don't know what it would be, but like there's just Tony Khan's just giving us a card that he can give us because that's what he wanted to build up, because it's on a Tuesday night, and because of the fact that he can put a card like that together, and just like he can do pay-per-views, pretty well stacked with storylines that are ongoing, and just go ahead and just drop in the matches. That's what he's been doing lately, but here you go. That's it. In a simple program tonight. I'm not going to go ahead and go over the top of the broadcast here. We're just going to leave it there. Thanks for listening in. Thanks for subscribing. All of my content is at kingofpodcasts.com. Come back for another Wrestling Goes Over podcast because wrestling needs us.